For this spooky season, The Initiation is bringing one of the most unique experiences to San Francisco with a combination of theater, 4D effects, and haunted mazes. Here to tell us more about this fully immersive haunted experience is a familiar face and our very good friend, Peaches. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's always a thrill to be here.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. It really is a thrill, very much so. And it's a thrill to talk about The Initiation. So for our viewers who maybe don't know what this is all about, give us some background.
All right, so Terror Vault at the old San Francisco Mint building is this big Halloween celebration that we've been doing since 2018. And every year we create a new, fully immersive, interactive, theatrical show. And this year's show is called The Initiation. And it takes about an hour to walk through it. I like to describe it as, if you're a horror movie fan, imagine walking through a horror movie where you become part of the movie. Ooh. And this year's theme is about a cult that we made up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so very spooky. A lot of spooky details to dive into. But in the intro, we mentioned how it's a 4D experience. There's theater. It's all kind of wrapped up into one. So what does that exactly mean for somebody who's coming through? What can they expect?
Well, so you're engaged right from the minute the show starts. Basically, this show, you're invited to take a seminar at the Insight Institute, where members of this group are going to try to recruit you to join their organization, where you can get, a third eye opened, for deeper insight. And what you find out, though, is that the cult is evil, and they're up to no good, and you have to work with a group of rebels to help take down the evil cult leader. And so you end up being put into costume in this show. This is the first year where the entire audience wears a costume to go through it. And it's an adventure. I mean, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there's a whole dining room scene where you might need to eat something, and there's we have a Die Hard moment in the show where the entire audience has to crawl through an air duct to get to another part of the building. Yeah, it's exciting.
It's very exciting, but sounds a little spooky as well.
It's terrifying. But we heard last year, the feedback was, last year's show was a lot more fantasy. We turned a guy into a dragon at one point, and folks would leave and they'd say, I loved it, but I wish it was scarier. So I took that to heart this year. And we amped up the scariness a lot. Okay,
so a little slight changes, then it's going to be very much more scary than last year's. But maybe for you, what kind of work goes into putting this on together? Because I know you were on the show last year to also talk about the show, but like you said, it's different this year.
Yeah, so we are stupid. We're idiots. As business people, we should do what most people do and just take our existing show and kind of reskin the walls and put up a new show. No, we have to come up with a whole new script, an entire new concept, tear down the whole show, build a new one. And that's where my business partner and I, we make the mistake of putting art before business, and we get excited about the show. So it takes about 9 months to build this show. And we work with a crew of, including the actors, it's about 200 artists in San Francisco. And so the artists come in the spring and they start doing the painting and the prop making and the gag and the effects building and all of that. So it's a very, very long process to put this together.
It sounds like it. So it's really kind of starting a year ago, and then you start building this set about 6 months prior.
Yes, exactly.
So how long is this going to go on? Is it all the month of October? When can people expect it?
We run through Halloween. And time slots are starting to sell out. We're getting to that place now where it's like, if you want to see the show, grab your ticket. We are open now Wednesday through Sunday. Terrorvault.com is where people can, find out more.
Okay, so this is, just to clarify, this isn't family friendly, right?
No.
Is this just for the adults?
I would say this, if you're a family, and you're considering a movie to see, this would be R-rated, so it's not X-rated. But we do have nudity. There is some, sexuality. It's a rated R experience.
Okay, so rated R experience, that's great for...
Not for kids.
Not for the kiddos.
Yes.
But anyone old enough to go to a rated R movie, they can definitely enjoy this experience. Now, for you, being able to put this together for the second year in a row and make it bigger and better than ever, what does this mean to you personally to kind of see it come to fruition?
Well, when we started, it was just the show, which I was thrilled that we got that up in 2018. But over the years, we've added all different components so that it's a full evening of entertainment at the Old Mint. including our Fang Bang Vampire Bar. I know last year some of the vampires came here on Halloween and
did.
got you and Kyla.
They did. They scared us.
Popped up from behind the couch. So we have, the Fang Bang has returned. So we have a vampire bar. We have the Creep Shop, which is this really cool merchandise gift shop. We, this year, are doing something called Terror Ball, where we're partnering with the Vaudeville Society. Huge Halloween party on October 28th. Massive, taking over the whole Mint. Circus performers, performance artists, you know, drag shows. So it's nice to see it, you know, expand. And this weekend, coming up, Saturday and Sunday, the Menagerie Halloween show, Oddities and Curiosities Craft Fair, is taking over the main level. So it's a full month of activities all under the umbrella of Terror Vault.
Oh my gosh, so much to do, so much to experience. One thing before I let you go, Peaches, what are you hoping that people take away from this experience?
I think that right now, with the world being what it is, I mean, every day we're inundated with, you know, sad news, bad news, stressful news, anxiety. This is a fantasy. Yes, we're gonna scare you, but part of scaring and being a horror filmmaker, a horror lover, there is a therapeutic part. The scream, the laughter, the release, we want you to kind of just escape for a couple hours and just have fun. Let us do the work. Take your mind off. Just let us entertain you.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about just checking out from the day-to-day, you know, BS.
Love that. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure as usual. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Olivia.
Of course.